Hey, what's up everyone, I'm Woozle Gaming, and today we are going to be talking about the 10 skill rotation user interface bar compared to the previous 5 skill one, which is actually a 7 skill one. They don't even add the path or the class skill into consideration, so it's technically 7 skills since they are added on this 10 skill bar. However, it is how it is, and I'm going to kind of go through the positives and the negatives of both of them. Now, I am actually going to be showing and telling you guys about the Mystic rotation in the second part of this video, so definitely skip ahead if you're only interested in that. But my thoughts on this 10 skill bar is kind of diverse. I'm not too sure what to think about it right now, because obviously with anything new, anything different, you do need to get used to it, and you've got to give it a bit of a chance. But a few things I have noticed is the auto attack button, or should I say the normal attack button, in my case it's in the top right now. It's really annoying and kind of hard to get used to. It's a lot smaller, and because I do play on an iPad, and I'm assuming that most people playing on tablets and even on phones, getting from the far left skill, going back to the auto attack, back to the far left skill, or the button next to the far left skill, so in this case the second skill on the top row, or whichever way you want to do it, it's just a lot of thumb movements, and it does tire my thumb out a lot more quicker than it used to before, and I have noticed it to be just tedious, really. I really did like the auto button, or the attack button in the middle with the skills going around it. Now, if you didn't know this already, no matter what class you're playing, if you use the auto attack button, or just the auto attack, in between skills, you do more damage, because the auto attack after you use a skill is used so quickly, and if you time it between using just skill after skill, there is quite a delay in between it, that you could fit a attack in between, not only getting you more set bonuses going off, but also just dealing that little bit of extra damage. So going between attack, skill, attack, skill, attack, skill, attack, skill, and because we've also got 3 more skills, it's just a lot of thumb movements. Now, to fix this, they can either bring back the old 5 skill user interface, which in my opinion is much nicer, better on the eyes and easier to use, and they just add the extra 3 skills on the side of the other 4 skills, making it go out a tiny bit more, I know, which could be a bit problematic on the mobile players for sure. But if they were to reduce the actual size of it and just make it a little bit smaller, it could have been done a little bit smaller anyway. I couldn't see it being too much of an issue, and I think people would definitely prefer that. But if they were to keep it with this 10 bar, you know, this 10 skill with the 2 rows of 5, well, they could do it so you actually auto attack after every single skill usage. So you use a skill and then you automatically go into auto attacking without needing to click the auto attack skill. It would still be worth having the actual button on the bar for when you actually start attacking mobs in general, so you're not opening up with skills, because you should never open up with skills, should always open up with an auto attack anyway. So it'd still be worth using it just for that one purpose alone. So yeah, that is my thoughts on that. And the second thought is the path skill. In my case, suppression is always in the bottom left. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't move it, I can't change where it is, and I'm so used to it being at the top, and having it in the bottom left, it just feels completely weird. Obviously it's just getting some used to. And the class skill, obviously in my case, is sigil. It always used to be in the bottom right, and now they're next to each other. I really wanted to have light sigil in the bottom left and suppression above it, but you know, you can't do that. And I think, you know, sure, it's just getting used to, but they could have done it so you could have moved the path skill, in my opinion anyway. Maybe they will in the future, who knows. I can't see it being too difficult. And my last negative thing about this is the potions. I had 30 mana potions yesterday. I probably used about 5 or so because I needed them. All the rest is because I misclicked it. They are really easy to misclick. I also had 30 health potions. Didn't need to use any, and I've only got 24 left. So I've wasted so much silver in potions just through misclicks alone. I don't know what they can really do to change it. Maybe put them, you know, above the jump button maybe. This is really the only thing I can think of to make them a little bit, you know, out of the way to not misclick it. It's because my thumb's going so far across that I kind of accidentally click on it on the way back or something, and I'm just wasting them, which is a shame. But yeah, that would actually get fixed if they would go back to the 5 skill rotation thing anyway, with the extra skills on the side, that is. So all that to the side, that is my thoughts on the 10 skills. I do like the fact that you can have more skills because it does bring more diversity, and I do like the fact that you can have more skills on your bar. For example, I can now heal people in raids if I need to. I can heal people in little groups if I need to, while still keeping all of my skills for my main DPS rotation. So I do really like the diversity, and I think that it's a great addition to the game. So now we're going to be going into the Mystic rotation using the 10 skill bar, and to be completely honest, it's not that much different to what it was previously. It's just going to be taking some getting used to with the new layout. Now, the rotation remains the same. It's auto attack 2 hits, light sigil, suppression, auto attack dread blast, auto attack Mystic Galaxy if no suppression proc. If suppression did proc, you use dreadful, auto attack, redo the suppression, then you use auto attack Mystic Galaxy force of will. That's only if you did get a reset proc. If not, then obviously you go Mystic Galaxy, dreadful, then force of will. And then as you can see on my top bar, that is the order that you want to go in. Dread Blast, Mystic Galaxy, dreadful, and force of will in that order. You do not use Dread Blast or Mystic Galaxy about 2 seconds or less if suppression is about to come off. You only ever use Light Sigil for suppression. Unless a suppression procs, then you use your suppression, because obviously there's no point leaving it off cooldown, DPS loss. And then if your Light Sigil is about to come off and you've got about half a bar left on suppression, then you just leave the Light Sigil off. If suppression has less than half the cooldown, because you might have got a really lucky proc and Light Sigil is just, you know, just being used or something, then you can use Light Sigil if you want to. It's not that much of a DPS gain using it early, it's just better to actually save it. Now, talking about the other 3 skills, are they worth using in a Mystic rotation? Honestly, not really. Arcane Shield in every single scenario is a DPS loss. I thought it might be a DPS gain because, you know, it improves Mystic Galaxy damage, especially since I'm using the secret set bonuses as well, and it also improves the auto attack damage after you use Arcane Shield for about 6 seconds. But the gain wasn't worth it. No matter how I did it, the gain just didn't kind of bring me a DPS gain, and I did many tests. Like, either I'm using it wrong, which is a possibility, it just wasn't really working out. I also had to time it to the fact that I had to use Mystic Galaxy within the Arcane Shield, and whilst having all of the other skills at your disposal, mostly Force of Will, because you would originally replace Force of Will with Arcane Shield, there wasn't enough time for me to fit the Arcane Shield in properly. So yeah, I just couldn't get it to bring my DPS up. If anything, I only lost damage. However, I didn't lose too much damage, so using it in a raid situation, you'll still be wanting to use Arcane Shield to, you know, improve your, your hit points. Obviously, it gives you a HP buffer, as well as also saving maybe your tank or someone else that is about to take a big hit from a boss mechanic. So Arcane Shield is still worth using for those scenarios, and that is why it's still worth having on the bar, just for that alone. But for a DPS standpoint, not worth using, unless if obviously I'm using it wrong, which I don't think I am. But still a possibility nonetheless. Void Walk. Void Walk was a DPS loss in every scenario. Really, yeah, it just took too long to actually kind of charge up with the charge and then actually go in towards the target. And the damage it deals is super low. And yeah, it actually stops you from being able to use 2 auto attacks, which can bring set bonuses or set procs coming in. And 2 auto attacks is pretty much the same damage as a Void Walk, so it wasn't worth using at all. And then once you use it, you go past the target, you got to reposition yourself, you got to turn your character around. Yeah, it was just too much hassle for my liking, and it also means you got to play next to the boss, which in this case, when you're using Garsh, you play next to the boss regardless. But we're going to be getting rid of Garsh soon, so yeah. Void Walk is only really worth using in a mobility reason. So basically, if you need to get out of something, or if you've got to get to somewhere really quick, Void Walk is your man. It's really good for mobility, so definitely keep it on your bar for that as well. And it's also good in PvP. Purifying Blast. Now, Purifying Blast is actually the best skill, and one of the only reasons to actually keep with the 10 skill bar, in my personal opinion, compared to the previous 5/7 skill one, because Purifying Blast means that you can heal when you need to. If people need raid healing, you have the Purifying Blast there. And not just that, Purifying Blast actually does pretty good damage. It actually brings a damage increase as well. Now, Do not use Purifying Blast instead of any of your other skills. If you do not use Purifying Blast within Distress, you're good. But if everything's on cooldown, you got no Distress up, Purifying Blast you can use as a damage ability. And in all fairness, if you don't need to be healing your raid, you can use it for that damage. However, I will probably end up saving mine for the raid healing, because I like to be useful in every way, damage and healing. And I'll probably save it in case, you know, for when people need healing in general. But it's still really nice to have, and the damage it does deal is pretty decent. For me, it crits about 16k damage, so it's fairly good. And yeah, that is pretty much the DPS rotation using the 10 skills for a Mystic. And I hope you guys kind of, you know, understood and enjoyed it as well. If you like to see, you know, me using it more in action in terms of raids and stuff, feel free to ask, and I'll try and get a video out for that. It depends on how much you guys would like to see that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video. Big thumbs up, please. It really does help me out. Subscribe to the channel as well. And also follow me on the Instagram down below. I've got the link in the description. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening. Have a great day. And I'll see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.